And we're live.
We are live on the YouTubes. Ready? Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 192, recorded on August 16th, 2018. On tonight's episode, we discuss Doom Eternal. What's this? News about Diablo 3. Pokemon Let's Go Community Days, new Switch bundles, and so much more. So, Jesse, you know what to do. Play that sweet, sweet music.
Welcome everyone to Nintendo Dads episode 192. My name is Marty Estes, and joining me tonight is a host of characters that if they were in an Animal Crossing game, you would never want them to move out of your town. With us first tonight is the guru from VG Tribune, Mr. Jesse Waldack. How are you doing, buddy?
So would you say that we have a host of hosts?
We do. I like that. We have a host of hosts.
There, 20 seconds in and we have our title.
There you go.
Better
Hostess,
than
hostess
20 seconds to the end of the
hostess
show
is-
before we figure it out.
If only we were hostesses with the mostest hostesses, then we would be hosts with the most snack cakes.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah, that's too much Inception.
Yeah, well, I mean, confused is how we roll around here. Also joining us tonight, speaking of confused, all the way from the across the pond, Mr. Gary Gray of the Nintendo Village. How you doing, man?
Well, confused, dazed, late. I'm all sorts of things tonight, but yeah, I'm good. Got my
Including well
drink.
rested, apparently.
I don't know, still only 4 hours sleep, but that's the Nintendo Dad's life.
We appreciate the sacrifices you make for us, buddy. Seriously, including that extra heart attack that you had this morning when you realized that, you were 30 minutes late for the show.
Man, those I'll tell you what, those Discord notifications, they're a great alarm.
Yep, I'm glad I sent it. Also joining us tonight from the Nintendo Shack, we've got Donnie Reese with us tonight. And not only is Donnie from the Nintendo Shack, Donnie is our 100th patron.
Greetings, Kooplings. Thank you guys for having me. I'm so glad to come
we're
over.
Excited.
The patron thing is actually kind of a funny story. I've tweeted about not really liking the podcast patron thing for like 2 years. It feels like all of my favorite podcasts have all started Patreons, and I've got to give everybody $1. And it's not just video games either. It's sports. It's everybody's doing it. And it's funny that that I was number 100, because the other day it was like we just joined a Patreon with Sean Capri at Make Us Better, and the PSVG community came into theirs, and I was like, you know what, it's just time for me to let it go, quit trying to die on a hill that's obviously not a hill, and just stop. So one day I created my first Patreon account, and I followed you guys and 10 other podcasts. And I just happened to notice that I was 100. Yeah, it was
We
neat.
We appreciate you not dying on that not hill. we're like, stay alive on that rolling green. I'm trying to think of something that's not a hill. A lush green.
So I'm thinking of a Sonic joke somewhere, but that's not coming to me either.
Yeah.
Green Hill?
He's just in Chemical Plant Zone. It's
Okay.
Well, guys, we've got a lot.
I think that's a topic for the Mega Dads blog.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. We've got a lot to get into this week, including, as you heard at the top of the show, news about tons of Nintendo Switch games coming out, as well as new bundles. But before we do that, let's get into what we've been playing, shall we?
I remembered to turn up the volume this time.
I appreciate that. Hey, we're working through sound issues over here, guys. Give us a break. All right. There you go. Donnie, it is a tradition of the Nintendo Dads that whenever a guest is on the show, they get to go first. So, Donnie, what have you been playing, man?
Oh, man, it's good. I just reviewed State of Mind, which dropped on Nintendo Switch. Unfortunately, they only gave me a review key for Xbox One, so I played on Xbox. I can't really speak to how well it's running on Switch, but I did play it to its entirety, and I quite liked it. It was a little slow. for a narrative, but the narrative was pretty rich, and the graphics, at least on Xbox, were pretty nice. It was very nice for what they were trying to do. It's completely overpriced, which I put in my review for the types of games that come out like in that genre and how they're priced in the market. It seems like it's twice as much as it should be. But you have a question.
Yeah, and this is an M-rated game. Correct?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, so for people who have not heard of this game or not sure what it is, like maybe like a 1 minute, what is it? What is State of Mind?
It's if you've seen anything like Detroit, it's kind of like that. It's a cyberpunk sci-fi narrative adventure game, walking sim, more or less. You do a lot of puzzle solving and investigative elements through the stuff, and then you find a story. The thing that I really liked about it, and the reason that I think I was more positive on reviews than other folks were, we gave it a 78. We have a 100-point scale, so I'm in like the 7 range with this game. The narrative that it told was actually fairly quite grounded. There's androids and stuff, and if you've seen iRobot and stuff, there's all kinds of similarities to the sci-fi stuff that people love. But the story actually that's being told is actually quite grounded one, and it's very like relationship dependent, and it's man and wife, and man and mistress, and man and child, and son and father, and it's more of that really, friends. Than all the other kind of ancillary stuff. That's just kind of like window dressing. I beat it in about 8 hours. That's another reason why it's really overpriced. It's $40. They're charging $40 out of the gate for it. So
yeah, it's $39.99 on the Switch as well, and that was actually out this week.
Yep.
On the eShop. So awesome. Anything else you've been playing?
I did get through the Valkyria Chronicles 4 demo, and I'm so excited to pre-order. The moment I got to see somebody unbox the collector's edition so I can see what this little tank thing is. I need to see it, like compared to the box and on the table. If it's awesome, I want the collector's edition. If it's not, then I'm just getting the game. But that demo was great. I loved it. I
completely forgot that there's a demo out.
Oh, it's so good.
I need to play it.
It's so much. It looks better. I'm sorry.
No. Speaking of demos, we'll talk about a brand new demo that launched today, day of this recording later on. And it's Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And Gary's got something to say about that, I'm sure. Anything else you've been playing?
Nope.
Oh, awesome. Speaking of Gary, what you been playing this week, bro?
The Monster Hunter demo. And that's pretty much about it for this week, if I'm being completely honest.
Is this why you were up late?
So lovely weather we're having.
Smooth.
So yeah, basically, that's pretty much all I've been playing. It's been quite a hectic week, so I haven't got much gaming time in. It's going to be a hectic weekend again, so maybe not even much next week. But I've been finishing off a few 3DS games. Captain Toad. I've still been hooked on Mario Maker, but the Monster Hunter demo is the main thing I've played, really. And it's got something strange about it. So there's something I need to say. It says play with friends. If you click on that, you can play with randomers on the internet. Such a weird choice of words, but there you go. It's a demo.
Friends.
Yeah, friends. Special friends. You don't know what their names are, where
quotes.
they live. Yeah.
Right?
So that's it, really. Yeah.
So far, how do you feel about the demo?
Oh, well, it's the same one that I played at the event. So if you listen a couple of episodes back, it wasn't last week. I don't think the week before. It's the same demo, so it's good. It's very good.
Awesome. And we talked about this game last week. This is dropping on August 28th, so in just a couple of weeks, you'll be able to play the full game. But if you are on the fence about Monster Hunter, then the demo's out there. As somebody who has tried Monster Hunter previously, and I've not familiar with the series, I will tell you it's definitely worth downloading the demo if you're interested in it, to see if this type of gameplay is for you, because it is different than you think it is. Like I saw footage of it, and I saw like photos of it, and I thought I was gonna go in like Kratos, and just blow everything up and hack and slash the entire time, and it is not that at all.
That's the other game we'll talk about later in the show from Blizzard. But
awesome.
Final thing I will say about it though is the focus of Monster Hunter is the multiplayer. So if you've not got anybody around you with a Switch, then try to play it online.
Yeah, there's some of those monsters you're not going to take down by yourself. It's absolutely not going to happen. Awesome. Jesse, what have you been playing this week?
Mostly more Picross S2, but I finished the regular mode and the Clip Picross mode. Now I'm going through with the Mega Picross mode. I should be done in the next few days for that. But the only other game I can remember playing, I think we talked about it a little bit last week, was Minute. But I think after our conversation last week, I picked it up, and I liked it. I think I don't remember how long it took me to finish it. It wasn't all that long.
No.
In fact, the very last action you do before you see the credits, I was laughing at it. I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it because
no, you got to get to that moment. It's
right.
I will say that it's totally anticlimactic for the entire game, but that's part. I think that's part of the humor of this game, right?
Yeah, this weird premise. This world of animals getting destroyed by a sword manufacturer factory, and you're trying to put a stop to it. That's kind of what this game is. And so I got to the point where I now have New Game Plus lit on my menu. I'm like, I think I'll wait before trying that again.
Yeah, you go in there and the option is literally says second run. And I think of course there's speedrunners. This game doesn't take a huge long time to play, but I stand by what I said last week. I think everybody, if you enjoy Zelda, if you enjoy fantasy adventure type games, not necessarily turn-based RPG, but advanced, it kind of reminded me of the top-down Zelda, but it also kind of reminded me of Final Fantasy Adventure in some places. The old Game Boy game. But it's one of those things where you go to point A to unlock something at point C, but then you go to point B and something else may unlock back at point A, and you've kind of got to, you never know, does this lever, it unlocks something, but you may not get to it until an hour or so into the game, and you've just got to figure out the puzzle. It's like one big continuous puzzle.
I tried explaining the game to my son, and he was way confused.
I don't think you can explain it. I think you just have to play it. Right. As for me this week, I've been playing Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advance. I really don't know how this game slipped under my radar back in the day, but it did. And the other day, my son was playing on my Switch, and he was involved in something. I didn't want to bother him, and so I got out my 3DS and just said, you know what, I'm going to see what's on here that I haven't played. And Wario Land 4, of course, was one of the ambassador games that was given back in the early 3DS days, and I've never finished it. And guys, this game is just bizarre. Anybody ever played this game?
I think I started it, but didn't get very far because I wasn't really a fan of I played Shake It on the Wii.
Oh, Shake It's so good.
I didn't click with me. I don't know why.
Yeah. Gary, Donnie, any of y'all ever play Wario Land 4?
Not 4, no. And I like Shake It.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the Ambassador program. I started it. I didn't get very far. It's one of the games that's on my list to always go back to, and I just never seem to.
The thing about it is that it's completely it's bonkers. It is absolutely bonkers. Wario is basically finds this ancient temple and falls down a spiraling portal, and he's trapped inside the temple, and he has to go through 4 zones to get out, beat a boss in every zone, and but the way that you do this is by adventuring through a level and picking up 4 pieces of a gem, and those gems are necessary to unlock the boss door. But by the time you get to the end of the level, you find this weird frog statue, and you jump on it, and you get a countdown timer, and that tells you how long you have to get out of the level. And so basically, it's a race back to the beginning to get into the portal to go back out to the map screen. And you hope that you find everything. And all of the sound effects are from Wario Land or WarioWare. All the wow, excellent, things like that. I mean, it's all the same sounds that you find in WarioWare. But one of the main mechanics of the game is that some enemies, when they attack Wario, cause him to transform. Like there's a bee, and if the bee stings you, your head swells up and you float in the air. Or there's this like other thing that throws a berry, and if you eat it, Wario gets really fat or fatter than he is, and he can like fall through the floor, but he can't jump. Or there's one like you get mashed, you get turned into a zombie, you get, and so far it's like, why did I miss this game? It's like Wario World on the GameCube. For some reason, I've never played it. And so I've been having a lot of fun with Wario Land 4. I'm glad I've gone back and visited it. Another game that I've been playing a lot is Dead Cells. And I just wanted to mention there's a review. Our review of Dead Cells is up on YouTube right now. And you can go over there and check that out. Some people, even today, as I was posting about this, are still on the fence about it because maybe you don't like roguelikes or you don't know what they're all about. Hopefully our review will kind of separate that confusion and help you to see if this is a game for you, right? It's brutally hard. Okay, like I saw somebody post about it yesterday. I was like, I downloaded Dead Cells, and then like 6 hours later, they're like, I beat Dead Cells. I was like, no, you didn't, you big fat liar. This game it's brutal. It's brutal, but they did. I'm just garbage at it, apparently, because I don't have like that Dark Souls training. I think people have been playing Bloodborne and Dark Souls for a while. Like they get it. You know, you can't just like mash the attack button constantly and win the game. But it's a ton of fun. And if I play it, I play at least 2 or 3 runs at a time. I just can't put it down. The last game I've been playing, launched today on the eShop, and it's called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. And, it's a game in the same vein as Jackbox and Use Your Words, except it's with a twist. This time one player holds the Switch or either docks the Switch and plays in a room by themselves where no one else can see the TV. But the basic premise is that one person is able to see the screen. Everyone else uses a device to go to a website, which I love the website's name. It's www.bombmanual.com, which I'm like, I bet that website doesn't get screened very often. Yeah, right. Bombmanual.com, and you actually can view how to disarm the bomb. But on the screen, you've got like this suitcase, and it's got different modules, and all you have to call out what modules you have and what they're doing, and then the people have to read the manual and very quickly tell you how to disarm that section. And so each stage you have a set time limit, you have a set number of modules, and you have a set number of strikes. And so downloaded this on Tuesday. We got a review copy. My wife and I played it, and we just had a blast. It was awesome. We disarmed 4 bombs. The last one took us like 5 tries to do because there's some weird puzzles. Okay, like there's cut the wire, which right? You know, you're going to get that with a bomb or with any kind of game that has a bomb in it. But then there's like, here's this word. And if this word is showing on the screen, there's 6 words underneath it on buttons. You look at the manual for the word in the screen. Then you call out, well, it's the dot is in, or the word you're looking for is in the middle right, on the second row on the right. Well, then you take that word and you have to take it to a list and read the first word on the list and see if it's in those buttons, and that's the one you push.
Is this all under a time limit as well?
Yes. All of it is under the same time limit. The one that just broke my brain tonight was there's a Morse code one. And there's like a light on it, and it's flashing Morse code. And underneath it is a dial or a slider to set a frequency, and then tap a button when you think you're on the right frequency. And I could not get my brain to do Morse code. And so it's like, and it doesn't help that the music is like super frantic, and like foreboding. And you start each bomb in a dark room, and the bomb is laying on a desk, and you have to press a button to pick it up, and then you can use the sticks to move it around and look at the sides and find the serial number and do all this stuff. And then I noticed that on the desk where the bomb was, there's an alarm clock. In the last bomb we disarmed, halfway through the bomb, the alarm starts going off. Like, bah, 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 bah. And so you have to put the bomb down, pick up the alarm clock, hit the snooze button, put the alarm clock back down, pick up the bomb again, and then start over. Not start over. It doesn't erase your progress, but start back on what you were doing. So much fun. I highly recommend it because, like, if you like Jackbox games, but you're getting a little bit bored with them, it's like, oh, we've played Fibbage, we've played this. This is a new twist on it that is super tense. But like, we played it tonight with some friends. Everybody that's played it loves it.
So is the manual like a static page? Like you can have a PDF file or actually print it out? Or is it something dynamic, kind of like what Bombcore did?
I believe you could print it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you could take it, you could print the manual out and take it with you somewhere and not have to worry. But it's like 50 pages. There's like 7 or 8 modules on this thing,
so then you can have as many people helping you as manual readers as you want.
Yeah.
Just because
but every person that you add is gonna, like, to me, adds confusion. And the other wrinkle to this is that every time you play it, like, I went back to the very first bomb and it was different. It's different every time you play.
Just think the more people adds more difficulty just being social, not because the game's doing weird things with you.
Right.
The game doesn't know how many players you have.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, guys, that's what we've been playing. Why don't we move into our news for the week? And of course, our news is brought to us by patreon.com. You can go over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where, like Donnie, for as little as $1 a month, you can become one of our patrons and get access to our brand new Discord chat and all kinds of other things that are going on over there. And I just wanted to take a minute and call out some of our brand new patrons. We try to do this for everyone who has come to be, support us and be a part of what's going on over there. And so we want to say huge thanks to Chris Greaves, to Shellshock Prime, to Tech Mike, to Third Strongest Mole, Brad Kaboski, Ebucel, and of course, Donnie Reese for becoming new patrons of Nintendo Dads over the last couple of weeks.
Didn't realize there was a list of mole strengths to know that you're the third one.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I was thinking that might be a weird reference to Earthbound in some way, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I think there is. I really do. Like, there's like that. You fight moles in Earthbound, but if that guy, who is a great supporter of the show, is the third strongest mole, I want to meet the first.
Or do you? Do you really?
I don't know if I want to at all. I don't know.
So guys, that's Mother 3 confirmed.
Mother 3 confirmed. Any chance we get to confirm it? Absolutely. Speaking of releases, man, this has been a huge week of releases and release news for the Switch. Several huge AAA games, third-party games got announced for the Switch this week. And so let's dive in and let's talk about some of these. Doom Eternal, Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, Undertale Special Edition, and Dark Souls Remastered were all announced this week. Of course, we knew Undertale was coming, but we didn't know a release date. And really, it's still not a official release date because there's not been an official announcement. But Doom Eternal, of course, announced for every system that's out there: Xbox One, PS4, Switch. Panic Button is handling the development and porting of that. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, which is Diablo 3 with every bit of DLC plus Nintendo exclusive DLC, is coming at a to-be-announced date, but they say fall 2018. And then Dark Souls Remastered got a release date finally, along with the Solaire amiibo of October 19th. And so we say, praise the sun. Right? So my question is, are you guys excited about this? Do you think this is, like, to me, this has been one of the best weeks of news so far that's not been a direct or not been anything like that. And of course, too, let me mention this. There's a huge rumor floating around that New Super Mario Brothers U is being ported to the Switch as well. And so let's talk about that one too, and either support it or squash it, whatever you want to do. Gary, I'm going to throw it to you first. What do you think about all of this release news this week? What is it exciting to you? Do you see things you're going to pick up? Or are you going, oh my Lord, my wallet? What are your thoughts?
Well, as I've previously said before, this year so far hasn't been exciting to me in the slightest. It's just due to most of the games that have been released, just they're not for me. This is exciting. This is the exciting part of the year now. All this news is brilliant. You know, it feels like the extension of what we should have had from year one straight away into year two. But obviously it's a bit delayed, especially with Monster Hunter as well, because that means like, there's not really that many family-friendly games in this list coming up. They're all Doom, Diablo, Monster Hunter, Dark Souls. It's a very different light for a Nintendo console. So it's exciting times, to be honest.
It feels like they're throwing a bone to the older gamer, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it seems like the front of the year has been skewed more toward family and more toward pick up and play games, Mario Tennis Aces, Kirby, things like that. And now here comes some more meaty things for folks who maybe Kirby and Mario Tennis at their speed.
Mm.
Yeah, we still have Mario Party and Pokemon in that future lineup. These titles will mix in and out between those through the upcoming months.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess, yeah. And I mean, not to belittle those or cast those aside. I'm just saying it's good to see a little bit of balance on both sides, I think, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's something we need to squash, though. We need to squash this, it's the Dark Souls of thing. Because, man, if you guys have ever played Lost Levels and finished Lost Levels, that makes Dark Souls Remastered looks like Hello Kitty and Friends kart racing.
You're talking about Mario the Lost Levels.
Mario Lost Levels, yeah.
I have finished those.
Yeah, they're
I
hard,
was like 12 or 13 on the Mario All Stars, released for Super Nintendo. I only did it once though. Like, I don't think I'll ever do it again. Yeah. But you're exactly right.
And Zelda 2. Zelda 2 is rock solid, so it needs to be like, oh yeah, it's the Zelda 2 of.
Yeah, I did beat Zelda 2 with a Game Genie. Does that count?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Marty.
I mean, unlimited magic, so that I can fly as a fairy all the way through that cave right before the last dungeon doesn't mean. I know.
Right.
So Donnie, what do you think of the Diablo news?
The Diablo news. I was watching it live, and I was just like, this game looks amazing. It was so fluid, and it's even the reboot that they just did was so good from a gameplay style, and this looks like ramped it up. Plus they've got this hook shot shotgun, which is like, I typed in all caps on Twitter. I was like, hook shot shotgun. Who knew I wanted something so much? And then when they announced it was coming to Switch, my mind was completely blown. I wasn't expecting it at all. I was sitting there like, all right, add this to the Xbox list, and it's Nintendo Switch. I was like, nope, that's out of the question. Like, I totally got to get this game on Switch. Because it's big. That's big for the system. We need more of that. You can kind of get away with that in your first year, but as we start to transition later into the console, like, you need more of that, or people are going to start to really take notice. I know we take notice as enthusiasts, but like, then the market starts to take notice if everything is 6-8 months behind and lower and all that. So yeah.
I saw an article earlier about this Diablo 3, just in spitting out news and different things, that it is going to run at 720p at 60 frames a second docked or handheld, which that's huge. Awesome. Considering, that we've not been able to squeeze that out of other Nintendo consoles or other Nintendo releases and ports. I'm super excited for Diablo 3 because I've never played it.
Same.
And like, I'm not a PC gamer, and I'm not like it. It was out. It was accessible to me on a system that I had. before, but it didn't interest me. But now it does, and this is the Nintendo effect that when the Wii U came out and we were in the giant games drought for most of those 5 years, that a friend of mine, Brandon's been on the show before, but I would tell him that all the time. I was like, what I want devs and development companies and these huge labels to understand is this: if you'll put it out, I'll play it on a Nintendo system. Because I want to play all my games on a Nintendo system. It's fine to play them somewhere else, but if you'll put it on Nintendo, I'll play it. And I've proven that with like Doom and now this. I could have played Doom anywhere else for $10, right? Or less in some cases. It comes out on the Switch. I'm like, maybe I should get Doom. All of a sudden. But I think this is going to be a huge thing. And the Ganondorf stuff and the Zelda, just like it feels right. And I was like, I will say, the introduction teaser video or whatever with Reggie and the guy from Blizzard, stupid cheesy. It was bad.
I haven't seen that yet.
It was bad. Well, you could save yourself some time. It was not great.
Those are my favorite videos. The more they lean into that, I think the more entertained I am. That's the fun part.
I will say that my favorite part of the video is here's Reggie and he's sitting at his desk and the guy gets like some video call, right? And it's like it looks like Windows 95 on Reggie's PC, and he's like, "Hey, I sent you something," and Reggie magically pulls out an envelope, and inside of it is the Nintendo Switch. And he's like, "This is my favorite part." He goes, "Don't you know how many of these I have?"
That is the fun part. That just that cheesy corniness. I love his reactions. Like when he picks up the thing and he's like, and it's just like, oh, come on, this is great. Because I mean, it's very self-aware. They realize it's just games, man. Just have fun. It's dumb video games.
Yeah, I tried playing Diablo 3 on PC when it was new, but I didn't have all. I don't think I have any Blizzard friends other than Zach, but at the time I didn't know him. So I tried playing the game solo, and I got to a point at the end of Act 2 where I couldn't pass it because, unlike previous Diablo games, when you die on a boss, if everyone dies, then the whole event resets. So if you're trying to solo it, you have to do it in one shot, which I wasn't able to do. But now that I'm thinking about it, I might double dip on this to get to play it on the Switch, and to play it multiplayer with the others.
Yeah,
because I definitely have many more friends on the Switch than I did in the Blizzard app.
Absolutely, I'm the same way. So here's the question, right? So you can do Diablo 3 on the Switch, right?
Yep.
Blizzard's in now, right? The rumors that Blizzard's going to have a game on the Switch, you know where I'm going with this, right?
Makes me wish I had a stay a while and listen button ready.
Please understand.
Here's my question. Maybe we can knock this one out, but I think we've got to ask it. Overwatch on the Switch. Blizzard is now saying, where before they said, oh, it'll never happen, can't happen, it's technically we can't do it. Now they say it's feasible if someone is willing to port it. Panic button. My question, though, is this. Is Overwatch still a thing like it was a year ago? And if so, do we even need it on the Switch?
I think Overwatch is still a thing like Diablo if it comes to Switch. I was mentioning this the other day, like Fortnite's been huge, like game of the year in terms of publicity. Everybody knows that. Fortnite went to a whole other level when Fortnite hit Switch. Like it became everywhere, as opposed to just being in certain places. It became everywhere, and I think any game
with the Sony disaster with that, it brought more mainstream coverage towards Nintendo against Sony.
100%. I think the Switch's portability factor does open these games up to a whole new market that they never get a chance to get to. And yeah, exactly. You're 100% right. All of the cross-play stuff, all the cross-promotion stuff, the cross-marketing stuff, you could just recharge that entire engine all over again if Overwatch did come. You'd have a whole Nintendo community talking about it, which then might in turn get some people that were maybe fell off of it that already had it, get them playing it again because maybe they've got a friend with a Switch and they start playing it, and then Xbox starts tweeting about it, and then it just starts to snowball again.
I think if Paladins wasn't a thing, I'd say yes, there's definitely a hole that needs to be filled. But I think Paladin fills that hole pretty well. So
I agree
is
with
it
you.
needed now? I don't know.
But the question then is, like, how many people are playing Paladins?
And is Paladins like on the eShop thing on ESPN, or are they playing Overwatch? Think about that. Like, think about like Twitch eShop competition, and they're playing Overwatch, but they're playing it on Switch.
And my whole question revolved around Fortnite. I mean, and I know I didn't specifically say Fortnite, but like with that being and taking a lion's share of attention and time right now, you know, especially even from casual, I want to say casual gamers, but you know, people who maybe wouldn't pick up a first person shooter or anything like that. All of a sudden now Fortnite is the thing where Overwatch for a while was the thing, right?
Right. Yep.
And like everybody was talking about Overwatch and everybody was talking about the character reveals and blah, blah, blah. You know, the last time Overwatch revealed a new character, the hamster guy, right? I barely even knew it. Whereas every time somebody does something, every time Epic does something in Fortnite, it's everywhere. And so, like, my question, I guess what I'm saying is, like, is it wise for Blizzard to pursue Overwatch on the Switch and put dev resources into it and all that? If, like, are they going to keep Overwatch going? Is it going to be able to pull with all those characters, keep it current with all those modes, different things like that? Or do they need to concentrate on something else that maybe, you know, other people have asked for? Like, I mean, the demand for Hearthstone on the Switch has been huge.
I think that one's got the hole in it, and also Overwatch has the PUBG problem. Because, like, you know, PUBG is the paid game with microtransactions versus Fortnite being a free game with microtransactions. Same, Overwatch has got the same problem compared to Paladins. Paladins is free and Overwatch is a paid, and then they both offer more on top.
Yeah, because at this point you're going to be buying like a definitive edition Overwatch if it comes to the Switch, and
Right,
you know that's going to be 50
even,
60 bucks.
Yeah, even their standard edition was a paid game.
Yeah.
So that's
'Cause I
why.
bought it.
So yeah, so going to the Hearthstone route, I think that one might be a better point for the Switch than Overwatch, just because it is something that you can download for free and play it.
And understand, I'm saying this like, I'm not saying that Overwatch on the Switch is a bad idea or that I don't want it. I'm just, my point is, do people in general, does the public still want it? Would it still be something they would support, or would they be Fortnite, Paladins, you know?
Until they had Snoop Dogg's dance to Overwatch, I'm not buying it.
See, the problem is, this is a Zach question. No one else here really cares.
I mean, I care about Overwatch. I mean, I enjoy the game, but it's not like I'm not Zach Erickson about Overwatch. You're exactly right. But now let's talk about this. And maybe you guys don't want to talk too much about this one. I don't know. Undertale Special Edition was announced this week, as well as a regular edition. Pre-orders are now live for both of these. The Undertale Special Edition only through Fangamer. The regular edition went up for pre-order on Best Buy.
Actually,
for 20.
Hold up a minute. I'm going to do a stop on the recording for a minute.
Okay.
So we're still streaming. So for the YouTube people.
And yeah, you are breaking up, bad.
I think it's you that's breaking up. I don't know. What are the others?
Me?
I'm hearing everybody but Jesse fine.
Yeah. Everybody but Donny's cutting up.
Crap. I think it's me then.
Oh gosh. So what do we do?
Let's dance.
I mean, I can test, like test. Is it me?
See, I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing Gary.
I hear you fine.
But Jesse, when he talks, is popping. He's breaking up.
I think I should probably kill my Skype and relaunch, and we'll restart the call.
Okay. Okay. Let's do
Okay.
it.
All right, I'll be back.
Do we hang out or do we close?
I have no idea what's going on.
June. I'm gonna.
Roll.
Uh-oh. Yep, we got him back.
Jesse's back.
This still sounds fuzzy, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, you still.
Robo voice.
Crap.
I think we should just put some auto tuning on Jesse, turn him into like a Will.i.am kind of thing.
Well,
I would love that.
see, the other problem is I'm hearing it for all of you. Did Marty fall off?
Yeah, Marty went off. I thought you accidentally threw him out.
All right. Here. Crap. All right.
Like there's a cell phone nearby or something. I keep hearing.
Okay. I'm gonna stop the YouTube stream for now, and we'll have to relaunch it as a part 2.
That gives me time